We're going to move on and check in with some other headlines now. The Canadian city of Edmonton is in a state of alert after a suspected, quote, ISIS-motivated attack over the weekend. The lone assailant is accused of attempting to kill a police officer and a number of pedestrians on Saturday night, using two vehicles and a knife as his weapon of choice. RT's Alex Mihailovich joins us in Toronto with the latest. Alex, what can you tell us about this attack which happened over the weekend?
Well, we know that 5 people were injured in this attack, including 1 police officer. And let's get straight to the video. This sort of tells the story on its own. Just a warning to our audience, this is a little bit disturbing to watch. It all started when this police officer, he was at a Canadian Football League game, much like your NFL. We just have a different set of downs than the States do. And the speeding Chevy Malibu went through a barricade, hit the cop, tossed him about 15 feet up into the air. The driver then gets out. You see other people running towards the police officer. The driver gets out and starts stabbing the cop on the ground. The police officer is Mike Chernick. He's a 10-year veteran. Then the suspect takes off on foot. Now, hours later, that same suspect is pulled over in a U-Haul van. The police officer who pulls him over notices that the name looks like the suspect that they were looking for a couple hours earlier. The van takes off, plows into a crowd of 4 people. 4 people are injured in that. It just basically is driving around the city of Edmonton trying to hit people. A whole slew of police cars following behind, and finally, pit maneuver, tapped the back of the car, flipped it, or the truck flipped it right over, and the assailant was caught. Now, as for the police officer, we do know that he suffered many stab wounds, including stab wounds to the head and to his arms. He's okay. He's out of hospital. For the other people, the 4 people that were injured, 2 are out of hospitals, including 1 skull fracture, and 2, as we know of Sunday, as of yesterday, are still in hospital. But there doesn't seem to be any life-threatening injuries at this point. Canada's been, it's relatively a safe country, but we have had our number of terrorist attacks in the past few years. I'm just going to break a couple down for you. October 20th, 2014, Martin Couture-Rouleau, he killed a Canadian soldier, injured another, killed later by Quebec police. He was a Muslim convert and an extremist. October 22nd, 2014, Michael Zahef Bibeau killed a Canadian soldier at our National War Memorial in Ottawa, tried to storm Parliament. 6 cops shot him dead, including 1 officer within Parliament itself. He was a Muslim convert and said to be radicalized. He also had a criminal record, which had absolutely nothing to do with his religion. August 10th, 2016, Aaron Driver, he detonated an explosive in a taxi cab in small town Ontario. He was shot dead by police, self-proclaimed ISIS sympathizer. And then we have January 29th, 2017, 6 men killed, as you might remember, in a mosque in Quebec City. He was a far-right extremist by the name of Alexandre Bissonnette. And just most recently, June 3rd, 2017, Toronto area woman, she was in a store, started whacking people with a golf club. She had a knife on her. She's in courts now, and she says she is an ISIS sympathizer. She does not believe in this system. She wants to be tried using Sharia law.
All right, Alex, do we know anything about the suspect in the Edmonton attack?
Similar. Supposedly, ISIS flag was found in the white Chevy Malibu. He is a Somali by the name of Abdullah Hassan Sharif, 30-year-old, and supposedly according to reports back in 2015, he was investigated by police for espousing extremist points of view. They didn't have enough to arrest him or to do, they thought, if this case is over, they weren't following around. Obviously, this guy then decided to do what he did over the weekend. This guy, this is an interesting point. He's a convention refugee. That means he was allowed into Canada because somebody in the country that he's from, in Somalia, he was deemed unable to return to his country because he was there. The Canadians believe he would have been persecuted if he was to be sent back, and this is what ends up happening here in Canada with that same individual. He's right now charged with 5 counts of attempted murder, 4 counts of dangerous driving and dangerous operation of motor vehicle, 1 count of weapons-related charges, and there is a good chance he might be charged for terrorism as well. He's scheduled to be in court on Tuesday, but anyway, you turn this, I mean, nobody died. But Canada is really not used to these type of attacks, and a few have happened in the past few years, and that is traumatizing people, especially in a city which is smaller and way north like Edmonton.
Alex Mihailovich reporting for us in Toronto. Thanks so much.
Thank you.